So the color is about Darwin's lost years, which were from 1846 to 1854, and they were known as the barnacle years. He spent 8 years studying barnacles, and he produced four monographs and 1,200 pages on barnacles. And sometimes you might call these the lost years, but also this is between when he did his last books on geology and he realized he needed to really get his hands and his head wrapped around zoology. And so he spent all of this time studying these beetles and seeing how they adapted to their different places in the environment and helping to give him his insights into evolution. But he was starting pretty much a brand new field. No one had ever before realized that barnacles were crustaceans. No one had done, I believe, a full taxonomy of all of them like this. And so my favorite quote from Darwin is, at the end of this 1,200 pages, he said, "I hate barnacles as no man ever did before." Also, for an incredibly readable book, The Voyage of the Beagle, before he got back, he was a famous travel writer, even though he didn't know it. His sisters were circulating his writings among the intelligentsia of England and the continent. And he really was just an excellent writer. And this is just an incredibly fun travel novel as well. This is someone who's traveling the world 180 years ago. My math is wrong. And it was him looking at all of these different species and how things worked and getting the first ideas that were going to lead to his great breakthrough. And you see what an insightful person he was. Another favorite quote from him is, "I feel like I'm a machine for turning facts into theories." And he would just gulp down facts and keep them in his head and eventually slowly fit them into the patterns, which is really how great science gets done. So this is a really, really readable book if you don't want to read his scientific treatises to get into the head of such an influential and cool guy in the history of science.